Hey everybody, Ryan here, or MandRproductions, and this is every January 2020 LEGO Star Wars set. I'm very excited to give you guys my wave overview. I want to start getting in the habit of doing these videos with every wave of LEGO Star Wars set, and then maybe even again in retrospective with the entire year of sets. So maybe starting with the end of 2020, I'll be able to do that because I'll be on top of it. So let me know what you guys think about the possibility of that in the comment section below. But today I'm going over every January 2020 set. LEGO did send me all of these sets for free, so thank you very much to LEGO for sending the entire January 2020 wave my way, just so that you guys know during this video that I did receive these sets for free. I'll give you my general thoughts on the wave. Is it a good wave, a bad wave? Are there any must-have sets? Are there any sets you need to stay away from? So we'll get through all of that. I have done individual reviews on all of these sets, so that will be linked down in the description below if you're interested in that. But first, let's go over some general information about all of these sets, just very much in general here. So there are 11 sets released in the wave, which seems like a pretty average number for a January wave. Now, the more interesting facts, I would say, are the piece count. We're looking at 2,529 pieces for all 11 sets combined. If you want to buy all 11 sets at their retail price, it's going to cost you $340, which compared to summer waves is relatively cheap, but still pretty expensive for what you're looking at here, I feel like. Now, a lot of people will say, well, now you have the price and you have the piece count. How much is it per piece? That's going to be 13.4 cents per piece. So on the high end of the 10-cent per piece golden rule that everybody came up with. Now, I don't have the stats in front of me, unfortunately, and it's something I would like to go back and do at some point. Just takes a lot of work on my end to go back and do this, but 13.4 cents per piece seems like it's probably average for LEGO Star Wars. That being said, I don't know. That's just kind of me talking, out of my mind without having the actual numbers in front of me. I'm kind of interested in what those numbers might be. Real quick, the box art for these sets, I figured I'd definitely want to include this section because I'm sure in the future people will be wondering what the box art looked like on these sets from 2020. So the January wave has the Kylo Ren box art with the yellow Star Wars outline logo. Then you kind of have the black greebling, and that is for the Episode 9 set, so you'll see that on Poe's X-Wing, the Sith TIE Fighter. We'll also see it on the Sith Troopers Battle Pack, and then while they're Episode 9 sets, the Microfighters have always been different, so they don't really have the branding border that the other sets have, and you'll see that they're just kind of blank slates with just a plain white LEGO Star Wars logo, which is really nice. I love the way that they do the Microfighter boxes, except the bottom part there is where you're going to see a little bit of that branding. See the white versus the black for the Episode 9 sets. Same thing, Episode 9 set with the Sith Troopers Battle Pack. The other sets actually retain the same box art as 2019 with the Darth Vader and white greebling for the border and branding box art. So very interesting box arts there for 2020, I would say. In all, you're looking at 30 minifigures for the entire wave as well, so averaging just about 3 minifigs per set. No set in this wave has over 4 minifigs, which is almost disappointing. Like, I feel like at least one of these larger sets should have more than 4 minifigs, but no, even the battle pack's capping out at 4 figs, so relatively low minifigure number, I would say, at least compared to what I feel like some people would want to see. And another statistic that I'm not really sure how to name it, but I'm going to call it the true remake statistic. Maybe we'll come up with a better name for it at some point in the future, but I think it's a statistic worth keeping around and trying to figure out how good it can work for looking at LEGO sets. So the true remake number for this wave of sets out of 11 is 5. So almost 50% of these sets are remakes. And you're going to say, well, Ryan, what defines a true remake? So for it to be a true remake, it has to be the same vehicle within the same price point or building style, if that makes sense. So if they made a UCS X-Wing in this color scheme, it wouldn't be a remake, in my opinion. So the true remake stat, or maybe the M&R remake stat, is 5 out of 11. So this X-Wing is a remake. The Y-Wing Microfighter is a remake because it's essentially a recolor of the version that we got a few years ago. The Mandalorian Battle Pack is a remake. Luke's Landspeeder is a remake. And Duel on Mustafar is a remake, albeit Duel on Mustafar looks the most different than its previous iteration because it's still the same scene, just being remade with a very different idea behind it, I would say. But the sets that aren't remakes would be the TIE Dagger here, Dorito TIE Fighter, Sith TIE Fighter, whatever you want to call it, Obi-Wan's Hut, the Bantha vs. T-16 Microfighters, the Sith Troopers Battle Pack, Kylo Ren Shuttle Microfighter, and because, again, it's not being made with the same idea behind it or same price point, like, it's not in the same category of sets, right? This is a play set, much like the other Mustafar set was a play set. This is a junior set, 4+ set, unlike any other Snowspeeder before, so not calling it a remake. Hopefully that didn't bore you to death and you're still watching the video at this point. So at this point, I would like to go through all the minifigs of all the sets and just kind of give you my general opinions on them. Do we have good minifigs this year? Do we have bad minifigs? Are we getting minifigs that were previously in expensive sets now in cheap sets or whatever? Let's go ahead and take a look at those. With 30 minifigures total, there is certainly something for everyone. I've got them set up here in a pretty good order. So we'll start out with Kylo Ren Shuttle first, including just the Kylo Ren, which was previously only available in a $130 set. So getting Kylo Ren in Kylo Ren Shuttle, I think, is an amazing thing for only $10. It's going to be a pickup that a lot of people are going to be in on. Zori Bliss also appearing in a $10 set here with the Resistance Y-Wing, previously only in the larger Resistance Y-Wing, which is a $70 set. So again, these minifigs and the Microfighters are going to be a huge draw for a lot of people, considering how cool they are and how cheap of a set they are now in compared to what they were in previously. The T-16 Skyhopper vs. Bantha Microfighter is going to feature a Tusken Raider and a T-16 Skyhopper pilot. These minifigs are pretty average and nothing to write home about. Getting into the more exciting sets, I think we have the battle packs here. First off, the Mandalorian battle pack offering quite a nice selection of 4 different Mandalorians, which a lot of people are saying they'll probably mix and match, and I can see there's a lot of potential for that there. I'm personally not too keen on some of the color choices on these minifigures, but I recognize that a lot of people really, really like them. So if you like them, that's great. And again, that does come in the Mandalorian battle pack, so awesome figure selection for that. Moving on to the Sith Troopers battle pack, this is one that's going to get a lot of people excited. We have currently exclusive Sith Jet Troopers, only ever appearing in this particular battle pack, at least as of the January 2020 wave. We also have a Sith Trooper who is available in the $130 Kylo Ren Shuttle, but now appears in just a $15 set, which is great. And then we have a Sith Officer, which I'm all for. It actually looks really great because they actually gave him a slight red marking, which I think really helps this character. Moving on to the Duel on Mustafar, we have Anakin and Obi-Wan included in this set. Both of these characters, I think LEGO has knocked it out of the park on. I especially love the face that they gave to Anakin Skywalker here. It's just so much evil in that look there. I just love it. Really captured the scene from Episode 3 very well with these particular characters. Again, that's the Duel on Mustafar set. Moving on down, we have the Snowspeeder Junior set, which for a junior set, I think it includes pretty good minifigs. We have Wedge Antilles and a Snowtrooper, which fit nicely into the Snowspeeder and the speeder bike. So nice figures, nothing crazy though, just, you know, regular run-of-the-mill stuff. We haven't seen Wedge Antilles in a while, so it's nice to get him, I guess. C-3PO Luke Skywalker with his Poncho and then a Jawa are featured in the Luke's Landspeeder. This is a set that I think has pretty poor minifigure selection. Luke Skywalker with Poncho, it's his first appearance with the Poncho. A lot of people probably going to pick up Luke's Landspeeder just for that. Moving on to Obi-Wan's hut, we of course get Obi-Wan, a Tusken Raider, Luke Skywalker again, just no Poncho this time, and R2-D2. So solid minifigure selection for the hut there. Just regular old original trilogy minifigures to me, nothing crazy. Moving on, more Episode 9 sets here. We have the Sith TIE Fighter, which to me only includes one really good minifigure. We have the TIE Pilot and Finn, which we've seen before, but then we get a Knight of Ren, which is exclusive to this set that a lot of people are really going to like. I think this Knight of Ren is going to be one that you're going to have to get to complete the collection. I doubt he'll come in another set, at least not anytime soon, so that is one you're going to have to pick up. Moving on to Poe's X-Wing, we get another Knight of Ren here. Very cool figure as well. Both of them have really nice weapons. This one especially with the red lightsaber hilt with like a shark tooth. Very, very cool. We get Janna, who is exclusive to the Poe's X-Wing at this time. Poe's X-Wing. And then R2-D2, and of course Poe. Poe has the very awesome Resistance helmet, which I've always loved. And then he also has his little hairpiece that you can swap out if you choose to do so. So the minifigure selection here, I think, really has something for everyone, maybe minus Clone Wars fans. I think that would be the one exception here of the main Star Wars stuff. But you got original trilogy, you have sequel trilogy, and you, of course, have original trilogy. So it's all in there for basically everyone. And, of course, the new Mandalorian TV show. So I think everyone's got something here. If you ask me what my top 5 figures were, I would definitely say the 2 Knights of Ren, the Anakin Skywalker, the Sith Trooper, and the Kylo Ren. Of course, those minifigures, some of them have been in other sets, but those are the ones that I think are the best in the wave that might be must-haves if you don't have them already. And I do have a few categories we're going to go through here. First with best minifigs, then best playset, best value, worst value, and most original set of the year. So let's go ahead and get started with the best minifigs. Which of these sets has the best minifigs? I mean, obviously, if you guys disagree, please vote in the comment section below. I'd love to hear what you guys think. I'm sure a lot of people are going to comment the Mandalorian Battle Pack, and I completely respect that decision. But to me, I love the red of the Sith Troopers, and I think the Sith Troopers Battle Pack has the better minifigures for me personally. Anakin versus Obi-Wan might be for some people. If you really love Episode 3 and you just missed out on every chance you've had to get those two characters, maybe that's it. But for me, it's got to be the Sith Troopers Battle Pack having the best minifigures. To me, the three best display sets are as follows in no particular order. We have the Sith TIE Fighter. This one I really picked because it literally has a stand, so I think that just works out well. I also think its colors are very striking and just very attractive to me. I always love the red and black color scheme. I always think it works out really well. So the Sith TIE Fighter is going to be one of them. Also, the Duel on Mustafar I think is a really good display set. Obviously, it's got some play features, but that doesn't automatically make it not a display set. You can definitely set up your minifigs in an attractive way, like what I have with Anakin and Obi-Wan dueling it out on some of the Mustafar mining droids, and it just works out really well where you can have a nice scenery of the two fighting. I really like that. And then finally, a nice original trilogy display piece is going to be Obi-Wan's hut. You can really recreate a lot with this. I just have Obi-Wan sitting. I have R2-D2 showing off the Leia hologram. We got the Tusken Raider kind of lurking around outside. And then we have Luke practicing maybe a little bit too close to the little blaster practice droids. So very nice display pieces from this wave. I mean, obviously the January wave was never and never really has been the most displayable LEGO Star Wars sets, but there are a few nice choices in here if that's what you're looking for. So these are my top 3 play sets for the 2020 LEGO Star Wars sets. I would say the Duel on Mustafar really allows you to recreate the scene. You have these very nice, basically rails that allow you to move the droids and have Anakin and Obi-Wan fight back and forth with these little handles. You can open this up to change the layout of your duel, I suppose, if that's what you want to call it, like that. You have this very big beam on top that can move up and down, so a little bit of playability there. And then you also have these little lava bits here, which you can have explode on out and basically cover your landscape with lava, although it's not, it's only 3 studs, so it's not super effective, but you get the point. It's a very nice little playset. Next up on the good playsets is the Snowspeeder. It's actually got this very cool Hoth dish turret with a little shooter here, one of the tile shooters, so you're just going to push it from the back, and it's going to shoot on out. We'll shoot it at the Snowspeeder. Bam. Very good, very strong and powerful. So that's a nice play feature. We also have some very good swooshability with the speeder bike for the snowtrooper. So this is something you can have chase around or be chased around with the Snowspeeder here. So very cool, good playability with that set. And finally, the other best playability set here is going to be Poe Dameron's X-Wing. You have the cockpit to load Poe Dameron into. You can have R2-D2 loaded into the body of the ship. You can open up the X-foils very simply into attack position. You can close them, and that's going to actually fire off our spring-loaded shooters, which you can individually fire like that, or, again, like this. Bam. Shoots off. You have stud shooters on either side of Poe's X-Wing, so a very nice and playable set. And then finally, of course, the landing gear can move up and down as needed. So those are the most playable LEGO Star Wars sets for January 2020, in my opinion. These are the sets that I think provide the best value in this wave. Both the Battle Packs and the Microfighters retain their price points from previous years, and it's just run-of-the-mill status quo, whatever, at this point for these sets, and they just genuinely seem to provide a good value for their base retail price. All the other sets, I think it's worth waiting for to go on sale, but these sets, I think you could find yourself paying full price for and feel okay about it. The Mandalorian Battle Pack, Sith Troopers Battle Pack, Kylo Ren Shuttle, and the Resistance Y-Wing, again, present the best value for sets for January 2020, in my opinion. I could only truly pick out 2 sets that I thought were a particularly bad value. Both the Sith TIE Fighter and Luke's Landspeeder are horrendously overpriced in my opinion. With 480 pieces for $80 and 236 pieces for $30, I'm just not seeing it with either of these sets. Both sets also only include 3 minifigs, and I guess the draw minifigure-wise for the Landspeeder would be Luke's poncho, and as far as the Sith TIE Fighter goes, it would be the Knight of Ren. But other than that, there's just not all that much that's attractive about these sets at their current price points, and they're ones that I would definitely recommend waiting for a sale on if there's something you want to buy. And finally, and maybe somewhat Oddly enough, the most original set of the wave, in my opinion, is the Sith TIE Fighter. It's obviously still a TIE Fighter, right? We've had plenty of TIE Fighters before, but it's a very different looking TIE Fighter. It's got the triangle or Dorito wings, and that has given it the nickname Dorito TIE Fighter. I just feel like in a wave where there's a lot of remakes and a lot of reissues, even some of the Microfighters are just, they're not remakes of sets, but they're still ships that we've seen before, just now smaller. This would be the most original set in the wave. So that is all the categories I have to talk about. If you guys have a category you want me to add in these videos in the future, leave a comment down below. I think this wave is decent. I think that's the word for it. I think that in this January 2020 wave, there are probably 2 or 3 sets, and you know, that'll change from person to person for everybody that they'll look at and say, hey, I want that one, or I want this one, or I want these 3. And that's about it. I don't think a lot of people are going to pick up every set from this wave. I think that's going to be something that just isn't going to be a thing here. There's just a lot of spread out stuff here. We have 5 episode 9 sets. We have an episode 3 set. We have 3 episode 4 sets. We have a Mandalorian set, and we have a Snowspeeder. So there is a little something for everybody here. Definitely, if you're fans of different movies, this is not a bad wave to hopefully have something pop out at you and be like, hey, I loved that movie. I want that set from that movie. So potentially you'll find yourself in that category. I just don't see a lot of people picking up every single one of these. This just isn't that 2008 Clone Wars wave type of stuff anymore. I don't have much else to say about these sets, but if you guys do have any opinions on them, please leave in the comment section down below. And since this is really kind of the first all wave overview video I've done, at least in a while. I did film a summer 2018 one, but I never actually got around to uploading that. Leave me some suggestions in the comment section below. Did I do well? Should I add more categories to my kind of like awards section for like what's the best value set? What set has the best minifigs? Is there anything that really should be in there that I should talk about? Let me know in the comments below. It would be greatly appreciated. If you guys want to see reviews of any of these sets individually, I'll have a playlist link down below and on the end card on screen now. Peace out.